welcome to another episode of Unscripted with Nurse Besties.
Woo-hoo.
And if and if you have tuned into our episodes before, you know that I am Nurse Bestie Comforter Wellness and my beautiful co-host.
Jessica Renee.
Yes, so welcome, welcome, welcome. And I am going to hand it over to Jessica Renee. We do have a fun
Yes,
episode for you on today. And oh, belated happy Valentine's
yes. Happy
to all the lovers out
Valentine's
there.
to
And so I think
all
you'll
the.
love this episode.
I was gonna sing the song. It completely blanked. I did not have a stroke. I couldn't. I couldn't. The words just couldn't come out. Maybe that's the excitement of the episode. But
Yes.
happy Valentine's Day to all the lovers, all the singles, all everybody. I love Valentine's Day.
Me too. Me too.
February is my month. I am a lover girl. I do a whole lot for Valentine's Day. Even in my single state, I take care of myself. I give gifts to friends. I just love it.
I do too. I love it. I love, the flowers.
Yes.
I love, like you said, giving the flowers, giving gifts to family and friends. Um, and of course to my significant other. And so like, and I even do it for my kids, you know what I mean? I give them like, um of course, I always talk about my son who's in college. So of course something monetary
Right.
is more beneficial to him. So I, sent him a little love token.
Yes.
And my daughter, she got some flowers and some balloons.
Oh,
And we even took her out to dinner with us. So, and you know what? It
that's
was
so sweet.
really nice because we weren't the only ones doing that. We saw a lot
Uh-huh.
of families together on Valentine's Day, which was different and
Yeah,
really nice
it is
because they
different.
also deserve it too.
Yeah, when me and my man get really serious, we're not taking the kids. But I love that. Now we gonna do something separate, and yeah, that's just gonna be for us. But I love that. I love that for everybody. I love that for everybody. But no, that is really sweet because the kids do. I also do stuff for my son. I'm very much into like the flowers, the stuffed animals and all that stuff. So I still get him that kind of stuff. And then I do like a big Valentine's Day breakfast, which actually was good this year because he didn't have to go to school. Usually I'll get up before he goes to school and do it. So we were actually able to sleep in a little bit and have our big breakfast, and it was
I
just
saw that. I was like, man, I wish I was there. Save me a plate.
yes, I got you next year. If you are around for Valentine's Day, I love it. Like it is my Olympics. I love it.
Yes, listen, it's just I feel like the no February is a month of love. It
Yeah,
really is. I enjoy it. It's
yes.
short, but I definitely enjoy it, not just for Valentine's, but also, we get to acknowledge talk about our history, Black
Yeah,
History Month,
yes.
and learn all about our history and all of that great stuff and
Hmm.
our accomplishments and people that contributed to pave the pathway for us to be where we are now. And
Absolutely.
so February is a great month.
Yes. That's what we should have tagged on. I don't know if we still can, but we should have tagged on some. Yeah. Anyway,
I mean, we can. All right, girl, take us on in.
I was so focused on our topic today, I didn't come up with anything else after the topic
I
because,
got I got you covered.
thank you.
I got you
So,
covered, girl.
all in all of this good, beautiful love talk and Valentine's Day, we didn't touch on one of the most important things that happened in February, and that is sex. A lot of it. We had a lot of sex.
Facts.
you know, to put it all together. Valentine's Day, couples, dating, all of that stuff.
You
It,
already know what's gonna
it
happen.
boils down to getting it in. What's the song? Let's talk about sex. One of my favorite topics, and that's what we're going to talk about today.
All right, so I'm
Let's
ready.
get
Let's get into it.
yeah. a fun way. So, what we're going to do today, of course, we're going to talk a little bit, but I thought it would be fun for us to talk about some common myths and facts
Okay.
regarding sex and just kind of see, you know, what we think, what we know, and what we can educate on.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
just to get started, are you, as okay, personal and professional?
Okay.
Are you very open talking about sex?
So you know what? I'm gonna take it all the way back. So I
Okay.
was professionally, I feel more comfortable now
Mm-hmm.
in talking about sexual health with my patients,
Yes.
especially when they're younger. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
If they're if they're young adults or if they're teenagers, because that's around the time everybody, listen, we ain't gonna sugarcoat it, but that's
Yeah.
the time when everybody's doing something, trying, and hormones are raging. So
Mm-hmm.
I do feel comfortable. It does come off when you're a new nurse, a little
Mm-hmm.
bit, you're nervous, you're stumbling over your words, and it's like, oh my goodness, should I say this? Should I talk to them about
Right.
this? But I feel like I became very comfortable with that topic when I worked
Mm-hmm.
at an FQHC.
Okay.
And you see you see patients across the lifespan, right?
Right.
And
Right.
so, one of the things that we were responsible for is if individuals came in and
Mm-hmm.
they, tested positive for STD,
Mm-hmm.
whatever the case may be, it's very important to educate them. We made sure we had condoms on hand to be
Yeah.
able to give them those condoms, but we also had to document that information and send it to the state.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's where I became most comfortable being able to talk about have that conversation with patients. And, from there on, it's kind of like second nature.
Mm-hmm.
Now I think what prevented me from being so comfortable and being nervous initially was in my own personal life.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know, I am a PK's grandkid. So if anybody don't know what that means, I'm a
That's
preacher's
a lot.
grandchild.
Yeah.
So if you know anything about being like a PK kid or a PK grandkid, especially in a Pentecostal,
Mm-hmm.
I think just in the church period, whether it's
Yeah.
Pentecostal, Baptist, we all
Yeah.
you know, do things the same way. And I feel like a lot of stuff wasn't really talked about. You kind of
Mm-hmm.
had to figure it out. And I wish there was more conversations around sexual health
Yes.
and, how to protect yourself and like, talking more about your body, what you need to do, how you
Mm-hmm.
need to be aware of certain things. And, I just feel like it was kind of kept taboo. All it
Yeah.
was about and I don't mean to take it to a
No, no,
religious place, but
no.
it
Right.
was more so about don't have sex
Don't have
before
sex.
marriage.
Stay a virgin.
They're right. Don't have sex before marriage. Um, you know, God forbid if you get pregnant if
Yeah.
you're not married. And so, those were the things that was focused on, that was more drilled into my
Mm-hmm.
head and more of a focus.
Right.
And instead of really being open and having that conversation uh,
Mm-hmm.
with with me and other females of the family.
Mm-hmm.
And so for me, once I got into my nursing career and I took that role at the FQHC at that clinic, I really became more comfortable in, like I said, having that conversation more, to the fact that I talked to my, son at a younger age
Mm-hmm.
when
Mm-hmm.
he started, he getting older and, you want to make sure your child is aware. I bought
Right.
different books, age appropriate books, of course, so he could
Yeah.
know his body and know what a good touch was, what a bad
Mm-hmm.
touch was. And
Mm-hmm.
so, yeah,
Yeah.
I feel
Yeah.
more comfortable in my older and
Yeah.
more professional and personal
Right.
life.
I love that. I love that. I
How about you?
I actually so we'll take it back for me too. I also grew up in the church, in a Baptist church, but my mom was very open about sex. She talked about it
Oh,
all the time. Like I can't tell, like, conversations about sex as far as like me protecting myself and what was going on happen all the time, like randomly. We could be watching TV and she would talk. It was she. So we talked about it so much, it made me embarrassed about it. I'm like, we're what is? I know now. Granted, all of her talks did kind of, go
yeah,
over your
go over
head.
your head a little bit,
Right. I still ended up pregnant very early on, but
but that's okay.
but we were very open, and even in that, I was able to like really talk to her. My mom was very, very open. Me with my son, because he's so much more quiet, I have had to be a little bit more strategic. But definitely, like you said, teaching like younger what's good, what's bad, like using actual terms of your body part. This is a penis. You have a penis. Girls,
Exactly.
like we have to, teach them at their age, but also teach them correct. But yeah, when I grew up, it was very open. Sex was very open. In my personal life, I'm very open about sex. I talk about it quite often with my friends, with whomever, and not even like a gossipy type of way, but more so like education. Like I feel like
Yeah,
we should be able to talk openly about what's going on. It's not anything that needs to be hidden. Professionally, we do. I do bring it up, in assessments and different things like that. But I am open to talk to people about it, just in general. I think, like I said, I think it's a topic that we need to discuss. It's something that everybody, well, not, I'm not going to say everybody's doing, but we're all aware, and the majority of people are doing or will do it eventually. And we don't want to not be educated or, what's the word, especially with women. I want women to be a lot more expressive
yes.
in their
And
sex
not nervous
life.
to
Right.
say what it is that they, want
What you want,
or
what you don't know, because a lot
yep,
of us grew up, even outside of church, women are expected to be these, we're not supposed, I can't even think of like the Jasmine Stone, we're not expected to be these sexual beings.
right.
Even if you are expressing yourself sexually, you're out open sexually, automatically you looked at as a hoe. You looked at, like, even in today's
Or as
where
the
things,
as the old as the
yeah,
mothers of the church, fresh,
yeah,
it's
ass, you do and I
all
have
of that.
women parts. I have hormones. I have different things going on. And even in today's world where we have so many different type of lifestyles, different relationship types, women that are just open about their sexuality or just sex in general are still looked upon. So looked down on, I would say.
Yep.
Um, so yeah, I think as you can tell, if not from this, I'm very open about it. Let's
And
let's let's learn about it.
that's awesome that your mom, even though she was in, in the church, she
Yeah.
still was able to be open with you. And
Yes.
that's awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, she was crazy open. Like when I, but we were very open out about sex, about a woman's body. Like she was just open. Of course, it was still things that she didn't know that I had to learn as far as like the science of it all and how your body works and all of those different things. Yes, but as far as just opening up that conversation and making me feel comfortable about it,
Right.
uh, and she did that. She was. We were very, very comfortable. And then I also will say later on in life, um, as I have gotten older and have gotten more comfortable, it's been a more of learning experience of learning your my own body. Like your
Right.
body changes, your needs change, all of these different things happen. So you have to, it's a constantly an area that you can learn and grow and all of that good stuff. Also, and then all the other stuff. You gotta protect yourself. You gotta, it's just so much that goes into it. It's not just the love.
Yes. And it's so and kind of going kind of segue into that protecting yourself.
Yes.
And I don't always want to be the Debbie Downer when we're
No, we
having
have,
the fun
yeah, we're
when
gonna get to
when we have our
get to
fun
the
topics. But here's the thing with that. You definitely want to make sure that you are protecting yourself, ladies and men,
Mm-hmm.
because we are, you know, unfortunately, I'm gonna go straight to
Go
AIDS.
ahead.
When the AIDS came on the scene, we were definitely disproportionately um cared for,
Mm-hmm.
and unfortunately we still are. We only make up 12% of the population in the
Mm-hmm.
US, and we are the larger we make up the larger part of that HIV and AIDS diagnosis.
Right.
And so it is very important, ladies,
Mm-hmm.
to have that conversation, even males,
Mm-hmm.
because there are, like you said, there are some males that are shy, very
Mm-hmm.
quiet, may not know how to have that conversation.
Right.
Um, you know, if you don't know, talk to your doctor.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to someone that you trust to say, hey, how can I have this conversation with the
Right.
person that I'm dating?
Mm-hmm.
Or, you know what I mean? Because
Yep.
you need to know, like they said, I don't know if y'all remember the commercials back in the day. I don't really see them anymore, but it
Right.
was commercials about you need to know your status.
Mm-hmm.
You and your partner need to know your status. Right. Remember those commercials? And so that is so true. And it's very important. You have to know your partner's status
Mm-hmm.
because, if they've never been tested, but you taking them at face value that, oh, I'm fine and I'm this, and then the next, a couple days later,
Right.
you itching and burning, you know, and you
Mm-hmm.
go find out you got chlamydia or gonorrhea,
Right. Yep.
or even worse, with the symptoms of HIV. You
Mm-hmm.
get your blood work done, and then you find out you've been diagnosed with that. And
Right.
so it's very important to know not just your partner status, but
We
go and
first.
do it together, get tested together. There are so many places. Again, I talk about the FQHCs, and I don't know how much longer they'll be around because they are federally funded,
Mm-hmm.
hence federally qualified healthcare centers.
Right.
But you can go there and you can go there and get tested.
Mm-hmm.
They give out condoms.
Right.
They do counseling, to help you figure out how to have that discussion.
Mm-hmm.
It's so many things that an FQHC that can provide. So if
Right.
you just, Google it and it'll
And
come up. They're all over.
yes. And absolutely, like being more comfortable. I wish we were more comfortable with those conversations, especially in today's world, because, we do say, like, yes, go with your partner, and as you should, when you're getting into relationships and different things like that, you 100% sure should. But then there's a whole group of people out here that's just, we're
Willy-nilly.
casually dating, open relationships. Not to say that open relationships are bad, but people are in open relationships. There's so many different types of dating styles. We're in a life of hookup culture. So these aren't even people that you may even be dealing with. Of course, like I said, we're not shaming. You do. It's
Do you?
it's the
Do
month of
you?
love. You spread your love wherever you want to spread it. But you have to take control because we have so many. It's monogamy is not the only choice anymore,
Right.
right? It's so many different things, so you have to kind of take control of that. And with those changes of how relationships look and how dating looks and
Mhm.
families look and marriages look, like it's all looking different. I wish we had those conversations where it was a little bit more normalized. It's okay to go get tested. If you have something, like, get it treated. I wish that we could just be a little bit more normal about it,
Exactly.
because so many things are happening. And also, like, the education about it. I mean, we'll probably get into it a little bit in the myths, but you could be carrying something and not know it. That
Syphilis.
dirty, that doesn't mean that you were out here doing a whole bunch. You had sex with somebody that you thought you could trust, or
Mhm.
maybe you did it. You were out here flinging it up, but that doesn't mean that you're a terrible person. That doesn't mean that you're disgusting or all of this stuff. Something has happened. Now it's time to go get it treated and taken care of. You move forward. I wish we could just have a conversation like that instead of
Yeah.
the stigma behind it,
Exactly.
and that
And
leaves people untreated. and
Exactly.
spread it even more. So don't do that. Go get treated, okay?
Please, please, please go get treated.
Way
And
more common than you think. And I mean, it's bad to say, but that's just what it is. It's more common than what we think. So just make sure you're doing your part to protect yourself.
exactly. And on in that and just to kind of piggyback off of that, Jessica Renee, it the cases for chlamydia and gonorrhea and syphilis, 32% non-Hispanic Black people.
Mm,
So
yeah, yeah,
again, we a large number of that is Black Americans. So
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. So all in all, just take care of yourself. If you're
absolutely.
out there doing it, take care.
Protect yourself. And what do they call it now? I was watching Harlem. I don't know if you watch Harlem,
Yeah,
but I
I,
was watching Harlem with Megan Good, and it was they called it
ethical
ethical.
monogamy.
There you go, ethical monogamy. So if you're
Yeah,
in something like that, it doesn't matter what you're in. No
right.
one's here to shame, and it shouldn't.
No.
You shouldn't be shamed about what it is that you do. Go get tested. Go
Yeah.
get tested
Yes.
for
Go get
sure.
that for yourself. And also,
Exactly. If
but
not anybody else, for
right.
yourself.
Request it of other people who you're with. Like it's your right to be protected. You can have fun. You can do your thing, but you don't want
Absolutely.
to. You don't want the long term effects of 1 or 2 nights.
Mm-mm.
Just take care of yourself as much as possible. And yeah, let's get into the myths.
Okay. Let's go for it.
We taught you well. Now let's have some fun. We taught you well. So, like I said, I thought it would be fun to go over some myths. I'll be honest, I just did like a random Google search.
Okay.
Just to see. I did just some random myths to see what would pop up. And I did
Okay.
it amongst adults and I did a general one because I know too a lot of what I noticed and just doing a Google search, a lot of it to me felt like it was geared towards teenagers. And maybe that's because, like we were saying, like at teens, you're learning and all that stuff. But
Mm-hmm.
it's a lot of adults where we just don't know. Like,
Yeah.
we were taught a certain way. We don't talk about it. So I tried to find some
There
that,
are some 40-year-old versions out there. So,
yes, exactly. In that. So, and I don't know if I was looking at it through like a healthcare lens, like, oh, maybe we should know that.
right.
But yeah, I don't know. So let's see. Let's see. So this particular article, that's why I'm looking over here, guys. I have my laptop
Yeah.
open.
The same. I
Um,
have my notes and stuff. So if I look over here or look down here, I have notes written everywhere, y'all.
when we get the full studio, y'all will be able to see, everything that we're doing.
We do
So
a lot of research for y'all.
yeah, make sure it's right. So this one kind of broke it down into a couple of different things, like sexual hygiene, infertility, different things like that. So I'm just gonna pick a couple, and we'll see where we can go from there.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm really excited about this. Okay, so the first one, and I don't know if this is really a thing anymore, but douching. This is sexual hygiene. Hygiene. We'll start there. Douching is necessary to keep the vagina clean.
That's a myth.
Correct. It's definitely a myth because they shouldn't be. Have learned
Mm-hmm.
that you're not supposed to do it anymore.
That's what I was just about to say. Through evidence-based practice, we've learned that we should not, as women, we should not be doing that. I don't
Correct.
even think they sell that in the stores anymore.
I think they do.
Oh, they still do?
I feel like I've seen. I'm gonna look now that we're looking at. I think I've seen some recently.
And for all the younger, maybe the younger generation that may not, can you explain just a little bit what it is? Because we know,
Yeah, yeah.
we our
Started
moms,
off,
our grandma.
but this one says 1 in 5 women who are aged 15 to 44 are using a douche.
Oh,
So people are still teaching it. So
okay.
basically, it's like a little contraption that you can fill up with water. You insert it.
Some of them come already pre-filled.
Filled, yep. And you insert it, you sleep, then it's supposed to clean out the area. Uh, I think that's like an old wires. It was something that was taught, but now they're saying, as far as like new medicine or our medicine is saying that you shouldn't do it because you're cleaning out the good bacteria. You're
Right.
wiping it all clean. We need good and bad
Okay.
bacteria, right? So
Need a
you're cleaning
balance.
everything that we need up there. But yeah, and I was surprised with the ages, 15 to 44. So somebody grandma is still out here.
It's teaching that to them 15-year.
And then when you hear stuff that like that, you're like, yes, okay, you know, new medicine or our medicine, or we have the evidence based practice to show no, you don't do that. But then
Right.
like our grandparents and all that stuff, great grandmother, they was doing it for years. So is it really that bad? I don't know. We won't put that out there, but what was it?
We ain't gonna knock them if they
We're not
if
going.
they
We
still
going.
doing it. So, but it is a myth. It's a
It
myth,
is.
ladies
It definitely
and
is.
gentlemen.
Okay, the next one. Urinating after intercourse will not help prevent infections.
You say that again?
Urinating after intercourse will not help prevent infections.
Oh, that's a myth. You can still get infection even if you urinate after intercourse.
Very true. So TMI. I'm very avid on making sure I go to the bathroom after TMI because it won't stop any other, but it does help reduce um, urinary tract infections.
Okay, yeah.
So that is the idea. You can it says this is false. It is false. Actually, it's recommended to empty your bladder after having sexual intercourse. The idea behind this is the bacteria can get into your urethra as you have sex, increasing your risk for infections like UTIs. So going to the bathroom right after sex helps flush bacteria out before they travel to your bladder.
Oh, so it's true.
Yes, you can. For
Oh,
Oh yeah, yes, it's true because it said
okay.
urinating after intercourse will not help it, so it will help for UTIs.
Oh, just for UTIs, but not
Yeah,
for any other
yeah,
Yeah.
not the really serious ones.
Yeah.
So
Okay. You gotta
don't.
listen. You gotta be more specific on that one because we don't
That's why
want
I read
people
the whole thing.
thinking like, "Oh, I just go urinate and I won't get chlamydia. I won't get."
No, no, no.
Listen, it's
Urinate,
only for UTIs,
ur-
urinary tract infections.
but definitely if you're not peeing after you have sex, just be like, hold on, baby, let me run to the bathroom real quick. We don't want chlamydia and a UTI like that was one. Let's prevent one.
Oh, you talking about something terrible?
um. So let's see here. I'm trying to find some good ones. Okay. Men reach their sexual peak at a younger age than women. Is that true or false?
Oh, that's all right. I don't know. I'm not quite sure,
Mhm.
but I am going to say I'm gonna say that's false.
Correct.
Okay.
So yes, it says men reach their sexual peak at a younger age than women. That was the myth.
Okay.
Um, let's see what it says. Many people believe that men and women have different sexual peaks, and I have thought that too. That men, that we are on two different playing fields.
Right.
Sometimes they like women will have a higher sex drive as they get older.
Hmm.
That could be true, false. I don't really know. It didn't give us really a good one, like a set answer. It says uh, many people believe that men and women have different sexual peaks or ages where they can perform at their sexual best. As men's testosterone levels peak around age 19 and women's estrogen levels peak in their mid to late 20s. However, sexual desire, performance, and frequency constantly fluctuates and are related to many factors beyond just your age. So
Okay.
it really doesn't matter. So if you're old, it's all there for you, baby. That's what it.
I think it's really up to the individual how well you take care of yourself. A lot of people forget that, like, how you take care of yourself when you're younger, exercising, eating the right things, that also contributes to your sexual health.
Correct. Correct. So yes, you can
Starting
still
out younger, even, as you get older, you still got to continue to do those things. So it
absolutely.
contributes to it.
Absolutely. Let's see. This is STIs, sexually transmitted infections, can
Mhm.
only be transmitted when symptoms are present.
You said can only be transmitted when the symptoms are present?
Correct.
No, that's a myth.
Correct. Correct. 100%.
Because listen, there are, and I'm, not to and definitely don't want to, but just want to educate people.
Mm-hmm.
Older people can carry around syphilis, may have been infected with syphilis in their 20s, and um may not know that they have syphilis until like later on in their 60s, 70s. And you
Okay.
wondering why, maybe grandpa or grandma might be having some altered mental status or things of
Mm-hmm.
that nature. Of course, UTI, but this altered status, mental status may look like Alzheimer's,
Right.
dementia. And so, like, if you go to a neurologist, one of the things they do ask is, have you ever, they ask about syphilis because that
Mm-hmm.
can cause that. And,
Mm-hmm.
more than likely, if anybody has a grandparent or parent that has been diagnosed with Alzheimer's, if you have been diagnosed through a neurologist, and if they're very thorough, they're going to do, a number of tests, and one of those tests will be syphilis.
Yes. Yes. So absolutely, it can be dormant for a while. That's what we were talking about, like making sure that you're getting tested because just because it's in a flare up or active doesn't mean that it's not there. So
Exactly.
back to the education. This was a fun one. Sex burns a ton of calories and can help with weight loss. Is that true?
I don't.
Have you heard that? Have you heard that before?
I have heard that. I
Okay.
have heard that, but I never really took the time to like research it out and determine if that was.
So you mean to tell me you never put your Apple Watch on or the
No,
Fitbit and
no,
see?
I
Okay,
have never. I
I'm the only one. I'm the only.
never. You trying
I'm
to
the
keep
only
track of
one.
your
Wow. Wow, that's
you trying to
crazy.
keep track of your calories.
Just trying
What
to
you
see.
burning?
Trying to see if it's true.
So it okay, so is it true though?
Do you think it's true?
I feel like any activity you can burn some calories. It may not
Right.
be a lot,
Yeah.
but you are burning some calories because if you think about it, if you're really doing it right, you can
And
burn
okay.
some calories.
And okay.
So
So,
I'm just go out on a limb and say yes.
okay. It's false. It's false to a certain extent. So this is what it
Okay.
sorry to bust your bubble, but if you're having a ton of sex with its cardio benefit in mind, you believed a false truth. Experts estimate that 30 minutes of sex burns about 85 to 150 calories. So if your goal was to lose a pound, you have to burn about 3,500 calories, which translates into 35 sexual encounters.
Oh,
I
whew.
lose a pound a year or more. I mean, depending on.
Sorry. Sorry. Gotta go to the gym. Still gotta go to the gym.
What I take from that is you're still burning calories. Now,
A pound.
but that's based off of 30 minutes. If you do the math. So I don't know if that's 100% correct or false, depending on how you and your partner are doing your thing. But if I
Well,
come up here looking skinny, no,
well, in the words of Missy Elliott, don't want no 1 minute man.
right,
So
right.
if you're trying
Good.
to burn that pound, you better make sure
Right. You
30
better make
minutes.
it got somebody that can go longer than 30 minutes. If you get somebody that will go longer than 30, you can count that, you can cut that 35 encounters in half. You might be able to
Right.
pull pounds.
That
I'm
got
rooting
the
for you, girl.
stamina.
I'm rooting for you, girl. Come back. Come back.
Oh,
Okay, second one. You can't get pregnant while on your period.
Oh my gosh. And I noticed,
So you got to think we have different, of course, we have
yeah,
different phases of our period. Women, we're
right.
going through it all the
You're,
time.
because you have the ovulation period,
Hmm. You
and
have like
then,
luteal
right,
phase.
right.
Your
And then after that, of course, when you have your menstrual cycle, that's if
Mhm.
the egg hasn't been fertilized, so now you have your menstruation.
Yes,
Um, and then after that is your window. You can still
right.
get pregnant.
And the window is very important. We got
So-
to keep our eye on the window. That's how we get caught up.
Right, right. The window is very important. Girl, you taking me all the way back. I can't
Taking you
remember,
back,
but
exactly. Taking you
so
back.
I'm gonna just say
You can't get pregnant while on your period. With yes or no, true or false.
false.
That is correct. Why?
Oh, you tell me.
So it's a partial truth. I'll say that. Mainly false because like we were saying, you gotta wait for that ovulation.
Hmm.
But if you are not tracking it correctly, you can if you have sex and you that sperm travels up there and that egg drops within that time, you still can get pregnant. So
Absolutely.
technically you can. And that's what this was saying. You have that like window, like we were talking about, like the ovulation window. So if you have sex a couple days before that, and they swimming and that egg drop, baby, they gonna meet. They gonna meet.
They're gonna be
But
like, "Hello,"
yes,
and then
um,
you be like, "What happened? I was."
what was going on? Yes, sperm can live inside the human body for up to 5 days.
Yes, yes,
So
you can.
that's kind of where that myth came from. It's like if you plan it wrong,
9
yeah.
months. In 9 months. That's all I'm gonna say. In 9 months, if you plan it wrong, just go ahead and get the baby shower together.
We'll come. We'll come. Let us know. It could be a little nurse.
We'll
We'll put
bring
a little nurse.
we love baby showers. We bring great gifts.
Yes, yes. And I also want all the baby shower food. So make sure we have the meatballs, all of that stuff. Like, yeah, we need that. I need that.
What else you got?
Okay, let's see. I mean, this one is a myth, but I mean, they're kind of all going in there. But I definitely want to talk about it. All women orgasm during vaginal sex.
No, that's
Definitely
false.
100%. It says here. I don't know. We will have to look this up a little bit, but I believe it. It says studies report that nearly 75% of women don't orgasm through vaginal sex alone.
I could believe that.
Yeah, it's probably. I honestly think it would be higher. Um,
And let me kind of piggyback off of that. Why do you think that is? Do you think it's because maybe males don't really take the time to learn, you know, how to please, the focus is always on the male or their satisfaction. Is it because they don't learn how to also focus in on the female
mhm,
and really learn the female anatomy and understand how to
mhm,
pleasure a woman?
right.
Or what's your thoughts?
So my thought, I'm not. I wish I was a sex therapist, but this is what my theory is. Part of that is
And
true.
no, we're not sex therapists, but
We're
we,
we're, we're just
having that
we're
conversation.
discussing a beautiful topic, a topic of life. I do believe it's part of that. I do believe it's the your partner not understanding. I'm not gonna say not understanding or taking the time, but it could be a lack of communication there with him. But I strongly feel and believe that it's a lot of on the woman's part. It's a lot of of the woman not knowing her body enough,
Yeah.
knowing what position and taking control in those things. So like when I talk to people or my friends or close family or not family, but when I talk to friends or I'm talking about sex, especially with women, I tell them like it is for you. Okay.
It's for you as well,
Yeah.
women.
Not as well. It's for you. I don't care what it's not because the day, I mean, I know it's different on their end too, but a man can get theirs easily. Like they, it's just the mechanisms is good.
Right.
It's fine for them. The setup is perfect. God orchestrated their setup great. For women, it's a lot more. We need to be stimulated. We need to be talked to. We need to be, you know what I'm saying? You have to be
Yeah.
mentally there, emotionally there. You have to, your body has to be ready. You have to be, lubricating all the other stuff. So it's a lot that goes into it for us. So taking control of that, discovering your own body, what is gonna
And
make you get there?
going back to saying what it is that you want, what it is that
Yes.
you need, and just like you said, taking that control and not being scared to verbalize or speak up for yourself what it is that you want in that moment.
Right, right. And taking the time to understand it. Because a true partner is going to want you to enjoy it anyway. But they can only do so much. They haven't been with you before. What worked for somebody else is
May
not
not
meant
work
for
for
you.
exactly.
So you have to be aware of your own body and being able to be like, hey, I like it when you, and if we do this, I gotta lay flat. I gotta do this. Like, just take control of it. Tell them what you need so we can get these numbers. Okay. And also to say, you don't have to have an orgasm to enjoy sex. You can still have a good sex. I mean, you still can enjoy the moment. There's other ways to orgasm if you have to, but you
Right.
still enjoy the act and not have to get there. It's beautiful when you get there, but you don't have to.
That part.
Yeah. Um, I'm trying to see a good one. I'm looking at this. I might have reached all the good ones.
Okay.
Let me see what's on this one. Is there any that you can think of, like some things that maybe
I have one. I do have one. Um, okay, so is this a myth? Is it true or false? You can get STDs or STIs. So you can use it interchangeably.
yes,
Sexually transmitted infections or sexually transmitted diseases without intercourse. True or false?
you can get them without intercourse?
Mm-hmm. Huh?
True, like from like oral
Yeah.
sex. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yep. Yep. You got it right.
yeah. You can. It,
Definitely.
guys, it all counts.
For
There's
sure.
no there's no ways around it. And if we have some younger viewers, or it all counts, baby girl, baby boy. Just because you aren't having vaginal interaction, penis, it counts. If you're having oral sex, that's still sex. Anal sex, is still,
Exactly.
so it all
And
counts.
especially herpes is I I was about to say the gift that keeps on giving, but that's not a gift. So
No,
you
no,
definitely can get
yeah, yeah. You can catch it. You can catch it,
through
especially
oral. Yeah.
for adults, but definitely with younger kids that's trying to explore.
Or
And as parents, we got to teach them that too. Like, we understand, like we're saying, you don't want to, actual intercourse, but it all counts, baby. You don't have to. Yeah.
yep. Protect yourself at all times.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes. I got through my fun ones, friend. The calorie one was my favorite.
The
I
calorie
got,
one, I like that one. The calorie one. I
yeah,
was like, I didn't realize you only burn one pound, and and it has to be 30 minutes, thirty
yeah,
minutes or more.
and 35 times. Yeah.
If you're trying to burn more than 1 pound,
No, for 1 pound. That's what it said.
oh, for
30,
1 pound.
30 minutes. You would have to burn 1 pound. It would have to be 35 encounters.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I misheard that. My
Yeah.
bad.
So yeah, like you said, I guess we got to go to the gym or whatever.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, so question. And also, our viewers, if feel free when you're watching this to drop your comments below because we do want
Yes,
to hear from you as well. So,
absolutely.
can stress kill your sex drive?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, it
It.
certainly can.
Yeah. There's especially for women. Maybe we can run this topic back from a man's point of view, because I would be curious to know what they would think. Um,
Yes.
But from a woman's point of view, yeah, if I'm too stressed out, but two ways. I think that depends on your sex drive too.
Yeah.
So if you have a lower sex drive, I can see it being more of you don't want to. If you have a high sex drive, you probably are like, yeah, it'll help you relieve stress. So you probably will want more.
And so, the reason why that can happen as well is your cortisol levels, which is responsible for stress, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Um, um, it increases. So stress increases your cortisol levels,
Mm-hmm.
and which lowers your testosterone and estrogen.
Mm-hmm.
And so this leads to fatigue, anxiety, and a reduced libido.
Yeah.
So you are right, my friend. It
Yeah.
can stress can really can really kill.
A lot.
Yeah.
Okay. Get too stressed that you can't have sex. You need to get it together.
Right.
Okay. That whatever is stressing you out, let it go. Okay. We have more.
And I got some solutions.
Oh, good. We love
Exercise,
solutions.
exercise, y'all, meditation,
Yeah.
therapy, and definitely just really prioritizing your self-care. So those are some things that can help with that stress. And if it's possible to get rid of the issue that's causing you the stress, get
Mm,
rid of it.
correct.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Absolutely. Get
You'll
it.
see that libido shoot through the roof.
Yeah.
All right, I got one more.
Yeah.
Um, I got a couple more, but I don't want to tag. I just wanted to kind of tag team and put this in there right quick.
Yes.
So,
Absolutely.
do certain foods boost your libido?
Yes.
You are correct. You better
Yeah.
better get these right, girl. Be
Absolutely.
on one. So, foods that improve circulation and hormone balance can help.
Yes.
So things like avocados,
Mhm.
dark chocolate, even the oysters,
Yeah.
y'all,
Yes.
they can help boost that libido. So avocados, they're rich in healthy fats, vitamin
Hmm.
B6 for testosterone production.
Yes.
Dark chocolate, that releases those endorphins. That's what makes us feel good, and that reward center that be shooting through
Yes.
our brain, that dopamine. So yeah, and that boosts our mood and desire.
Yes.
And oysters, they are high in zinc.
Hmm.
So this, guys, this supports sperm production and libido. So if
Yeah.
need some sperm production,
Right.
there
Right.
you
At the end of the day, get your man some oysters.
go. Oh my gosh. So the CDC recommends, just in case anybody's wondering how often they should get tested for
Yes. That,
STIs, if you are a sexually active person under the age of 25, it is recommended that you get tested annually for
okay.
chlamydia and gonorrhea.
Hmm.
If you are having, what did we call it? Ethical monogamy,
Non-monogamy. Yep.
non-monogamy, multiple partners or unprotected sex.
Hmm.
It's recommended that you get tested every 3 to 6 months.
Hmm.
Um, and HIV testing recommended annually for high risk groups.
Hmm.
But I recommend just getting tested annually. You
Right.
just you know what I mean? You just don't never
Mhm.
know.
Right. Right. Just to be on the same side. Make sure that
Yeah.
everything's right. Yeah. I loved it. I will also add, I don't know, you have some more?
No, 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 no. You
Okay.
go ahead. You good. You good.
Okay. I love this. I think this is so cute and fun. They all were myths, guys. It was all wrong. We had to I think it just shows that it's so many things that we are taught. It's not a set class. I mean, of course, we do have like sex health and stuff in high school. I believe they teach, I know my son went through it, so they do still teach it in certain areas because some states do not.
Yeah.
But certain places that do have it, we do
And they
learn.
only go to a certain extent with
Right,
teaching
right.
what they're going to teach. Yeah.
So, the majority of us, if we, didn't get raised by gynecologists and, and people that really knew the body, sex therapists and stuff like that, like we really were left up to our own devices. Google,
Exactly. We fumbled.
school,
Yep.
healthcare.
Fumbled
You
along.
understand? Like we are a lot of the stuff that we were taught and we believe may be true, may be false, but in this particular area, we're kind of all just kind of wandering around trying to make sure that we got the right information. And I think it's also important to say too, even though of course this whole topic was, about our sexual health and all that good stuff, don't be embarrassed or don't feel any kind of way if you are not in a position or ready to have sex. Abstinence is great. Celibacy is great. Um, I think the biggest thing is that you are doing what you feel is right for your body.
Yeah.
Don't feel pressure, especially younger, old. Don't feel pressure to do anything that you don't want to do, at any level, any age. So even though you can still educate yourself, you can still make sure that you are aware of what's going on. But at the end of the day, you do what is right for your body. And if that means not doing anything, don't do it.
There you go.
Yeah.
You put it perfectly. I don't have anything to add to
I
that.
don't either. I don't either. Except for, we'll see the ones that didn't know, we're a little late on our Valentine's Day episode. So if you did have sex on your period and you ovulated, we will see you
And
in
we'll see you in 9 months. Make sure you invite us to the baby shower.
Yeah, yeah. We'll come back. We'll talk about something else in 9 months related
At that time, like maybe around the eighth month, we'll bring a doula on.
to
We'll
help
bring a
deliver.
doula on and we can talk about it, helping you get through that and how she can how she can support you.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yes, we can
You-
definitely do that. And I love some baby shower food, y'all.
Yes, 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 yes. I love shower foods. Not a big fan of baby showers, but I love the baby shower food. But I'll drop off a gift or something for the baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Pick up
put the
my plate, drop my gift off, and be out.
right. Our little platters to go. We still gonna come. Just you know. I can save the baby games. Just here, take these diapers and let me just go about my business.
There you go. So are we gonna do grand rounds?
Do we have some things for rounds this week? You got a couple things?
I do. I do have
Okay.
a couple things for grand rounds this week. Really one in particular. As you know, everyone and so if for those of you that don't know, our grand rounds is the information that's happening currently
Mm-hmm.
as it relates to healthcare or as it may relate to nursing. So
Yes.
this one in particular really relates to healthcare. It affects everyone as a whole, um, because this really affects how we practice as nurses, how our doctors and your doctor that care for you, the doctors
Mm-hmm.
we work with, the doctors that care for us. It affects their practice. And shout out to the ones that that uphold the standard and really practice evidence-based
Yeah.
practice when it comes to caring for your patients that you serve in the community,
Yeah.
because we all know that research in healthcare is extremely important
Mm-hmm.
and unfortunately has come under attack here lately. But shout out to those doctors, shout out to the nurses, the nurse practitioners, physician
Yes.
assistants, wherever your discipline may lie in the healthcare uh, provider realm. Thank
Mm-hmm.
you, for staying steadfast and
Yes.
using evidence-based practice and continuing. And I see some providers that are using their platform to provide us with accurate information and
Mm-hmm.
keeping us abreast on what's happening with the measles outbreak in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Um, if you're not aware, there is a measles outbreak that was in Texas, but now not only in Texas, but it has also spread over to New Mexico, which
Okay.
is also doubling, increasing those cases.
Mm-hmm.
And it's affecting those that are not vaccinated with MMR, which is mumps, measles, and rubella.
Mm-hmm.
That's the vaccine. And again, everyone, please make sure you do your research. We're not here
Right.
to shame anyone. If you are not, for vaccines, that is your prerogative.
Right.
For those of you that have been vaccinated or are interested in being vaccinated, talk to your doctor. These are
Mm-hmm.
the individuals that have went to school, um, done residency. I know the doctors I've worked with and Jessica Renee have worked with have
Right.
put out research, participated in research. So
Mm-hmm.
talk to your doctor.
Right.
These are the professionals. Talk to your nurse practitioners. Talk to
Mm-hmm.
whatever your provider may be. Talk to them
Yes.
before you make a decision. So that way
Mhm.
you are very well educated
Yes.
in should I get vaccinated? Should I not get my child vaccinated, or should I not or should I get them vaccinated?
Mm-hmm.
It's very important. So again,
Yeah.
going back to have that conversation with the doctors.
Yes.
Um, and then on top of that, of course, there's the bird flu. Um, that
Yeah.
is there. I didn't look a whole lot into that one, but really just kind of
Mhm.
looking at the measles outbreak because that one it's really starting to spread, and it's
Right.
one of the biggest outbreaks.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of the biggest outbreaks that's being reported, but not a whole lot I'm seeing on news channels. But
Mm-hmm.
it's more so, like I said, it's doctors that are out in that area. Shout out to them, to the pediatric
Right.
doctors that are really trying to like man that and keep an eye on that and keep everyone abreast of what's happening, because you have to know
Mm-hmm.
what's going on, because
Right.
you know what I mean, because you want to know, has it moved over to my state, you know what I
All right.
mean? So
Absolutely.
these type of things are important, and not have being able to go to certain websites, the federal websites that are supposed to update this information and have this information readily available to the public is detrimental.
Right.
It causes more harm um,
Mm-hmm.
to the overall public.
Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Um, and so on top of that, and I'm not
Mm-hmm.
gonna go off in no tangent or anything, but I just want to, give y'all some information. So on top of that, many of you may or may not know, Robert F. Kennedy Jr.
Mm-hmm.
um was confirmed as the Secretary of the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. Um, you know, he has some, I'm gonna just say it,
Yeah.
some quack beliefs.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things I'm gonna say this, and you can go look it up. You can also look up his confirmation hearing when they were asking him questions. You
Mm-hmm.
can look up some of the interviews he has done in the past. But it his confirmation really I'm gonna just say it scares me,
Mm-hmm.
because some of his beliefs, especially when it comes to um Black people. He made a statement during the interview, as well as during his confirmation, stating that he felt like Black people should not be on the same vaccine schedule
Mm-hmm.
as our white counterparts.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so, you know, let's just
Yeah.
stop it there.
Yeah.
I just want to say, if you don't know, Black people have helped contribute so much to healthcare in America.
Mm-hmm.
And I know some people probably don't want to hear that, but I'm gonna take it all the way back.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the books that you can read Medical Apartheid. It really goes back to where, like, these colleges of medicine use Black kids as their mascots, where they were testing on them,
Yep.
things of that nature. But we already contribute so much.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it's like we continue, and they wonder why the mistrust is there.
Yep.
Why? some of our, in our part of our demographics don't want to go to the doctor,
Mm-hmm.
or don't feel heard because of these type of stereotypes.
Yep.
um it causes more harm.
Mm-hmm.
It definitely increases our risk of harm, the
Yep.
harm for Black Americans, when you say things like Black people should not be on the same vaccine schedule.
Which
We
is
are human beings.
correct.
We The
Good.
only difference is that we have melon, and we still human beings. So I don't, and I'm gonna just say this, that there is no evidence base. You hear us talk a lot about evidence base. When we say evidence base, this means there has been research,
Mm-hmm.
um, and you know research on top of research to support certain ways to provide care,
Right.
administer care,
Mm-hmm.
whatever that may be. Anytime your doctor comes in and is doing something, or anytime your nurse is coming in and administering, or doing something for
Right.
you, caring for you, just know that those are evidence-based practices that have shown to be
Mhm.
beneficial and
Correct.
effective in
That
healing the patient. Okay.
correct. Yep.
In this case has not, there's no evidence to show this.
Mm-hmm.
And
Just
he tried to say it was, but there was no evidence.
right.
And so I will say, please make sure that, you are, you're doing your, again, going
Mhm.
back to doing your research for
Right.
those that may be in med school or practicing medicine. Make sure that you're looking at good data,
Mm-hmm.
and you're talking to solid doctors that
Mm-hmm.
have been practicing and know their stuff,
Correct.
and that are culturally competent
Mm-hmm.
in the care that they deliver
Correct.
across the board to everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Because this really puts, again, Black people at high risk when things like this are said, and there's no evidence-based practice to support what he's saying.
Correct. Correct.
And so, again, I kind of reference a little bit about, like, one of the big studies that was done in regards, and then I'll just bring this up in regards to Black history. I'm sure everyone has heard of the Tuskegee syphilis
Mm-hmm.
study. Um, and again, these type of things foster the distrust in the public health initiatives among
Right.
Black Americans.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know, it's just a lot, and his beliefs. And if you don't believe me, just look at Louisiana. As soon as he was confirmed in Louisiana,
Mm-hmm.
put out a memo saying that they didn't want to promote vaccines anymore. So basically, before, like, they would promote or have ads talking about, like, you should get
Mm-hmm.
vaccinated, you should get the flu vaccine, you make sure your child is vaccinated. Um, and so now those type of things aren't being advertised anymore. They don't want to even advertise. Even for the ones that want to get vaccinated, they don't want it advertised at all.
Wow. Yeah.
So, his confirmation not only affects, it affects a lot across the board. It affects Medicaid,
Mm-hmm.
affects, again, research,
Yep.
uh, again, like I said, going back to how we deliver care, how we prioritize care, and
Mm-hmm.
really just trying to debunk, his, it's like, again, I feel like there's going to be a lot of quackery out there now, and we have to, not just you and I,
Right.
we have to be responsible for helping people navigate and debunk the
Mm-hmm.
misinformation.
Mm-hmm.
But those, other nurses, if you want to come on the show, or if you have your own platform, you
Right.
know, educate your followers, make sure you're educating your patients. We have a voice. We went to school.
Right.
we are well educated. We are at the bedside. We spend more time with the patients than sometimes than the doctor. And,
Correct.
we-
Correct.
get out there, help
Mm-hmm.
make sure that the public remains safe and
Mm-hmm.
healthy. And that is one of the things, one of the oaths we took is to make sure
Correct.
that we don't do any harm. And I plan to continue to uphold that oath.
Absolutely. Same. Same.
So that's all I got around, Sonny. I
Yeah.
know I talked a lot on that one, but that one
No,
really
it's
kind of,
good. We gotta bring everybody up to speed. And like you said, we have to be educated and do our own research because it's a lot.
yeah. And I feel bad for the providers, and I'm part of this nurse practitioner group, and people
Mhm.
are worried about like the challenges that the patients will face, because he's made
Mhm.
comments about, you know, taking away people's antidepressants and just certain things, and it's really going to be challenging for the providers because the patient may, you know are you going to really give me accurate care, or are
Correct.
are you believing what this guy is saying? So
Correct.
I really feel, not just for the providers. I feel for my colleagues,
Mhm.
nurses, nurse practitioners, for the physician assistants, the doctors. I feel for all the healthcare providers across the board because it's going to make our job more difficult,
Right.
because now there's going to be some type of distrust there because you know maybe they've seen this information. Now they're worried, am I
Mhm.
going to actually get the best care, or am I going to get evidence-based care, or am I going to just get
Whatever.
whatever that they that they do? They
Mhm.
believe the same thing that the secretary that just got confirmed believes, you know what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
And so I mean, I
That's
totally
very
get
scary.
it. And you know but we're going to continue to be vigilant and
Mhm.
keep you updated and provide you with accurate information and help you navigate the challenges.
Yes.
Um, I don't know what it'll look like in regards to Medicaid because, Medicaid, um, let's talk a little bit about that, Jess,
Mhm.
in regards to Medicaid before we wrap everything up. Um, so, you know, there we have some patients, some senior citizens that may
Mhm.
be on Medicare, right?
Right.
And say they Medicare only covers a certain portion of things. They don't
Right.
cover like home delivered meals. They don't
Mhm.
cover a aid to come in the home
Yep.
to assist the family or to assist the patient, especially
Mhm.
if they live on their own. They may not have any family.
Right.
Um,
Certain equipment.
that part.
Mhm.
Getting back and forth to their doctor's appointments,
Mhm.
medical transportation. Also,
Yep.
Medicaid also covers for them to stay in the nursing home. You know what I
Mhm.
mean?
Yep.
So I don't know what this is going to look like
Mhm.
when they start to do these cuts. I did read where they are doing some cuts to Medicaid.
Mhm.
But I just want to put this out there and let you know that Medicaid also, we, we call it, what did we call it, Jess? Is it dual?
When they have both for the
Yeah,
Medicaid.
the
Mhm.
dual, and we call it, some places, some states call it something different.
Mhm.
Where we called it LTSS, so long-term services and support. And
Mhm.
so the patients have dual. When they're a senior citizen, or if they are someone that's disabled,
Right.
they have Medicare and they have Medicaid. And so
Mhm.
whatever Medicare is not covering, Medicaid will help
We'll pick up.
cover the remaining part of it. And so you may see like some of you may have aunts, uncles, grandparents, or someone that's disabled.
Mhm.
You see the aides coming in. You may see them getting the home
Bills.
delivered meals. You may see medical transportation, taking them to their doctor's
Hmm.
appointments, bringing them back. That's all possible
Right.
because of the Medicaid
Mhm.
benefit.
Family members getting paid to take care of
There,
people. Yeah. Hmm.
that part,
Yep.
self-directed care, or you know. So I don't know what that'll look like.
Yeah.
Um, I know, I know a couple of people that get it. We have taken care of people that have received that benefit, and like you said, equipment, um,
Hmm.
especially if they need
A
a
lot.
hospital bed, if they, it just covers, it helps cover so much that
Hmm.
Medicare would not cover for a
Hmm.
senior or a disabled person.
Right.
So I think people forget that. I think people only just focus on um the younger generation.
Mhm.
Oh, it's not there for them to be on for a long period of time. I
Right.
think people need to kind of like take a step back, maybe do some research, um, and understand that Medicaid also helps cover what Medicare will not. So
Correct.
you may have somebody or have a friend, like I said, family member, friend of the family, whatever the case may be, and they have these aides coming in, they have the home delivered meals, all of this stuff.
Hmm.
Medicare will not cover that.
Hmm.
Now,
Yeah.
Medicare, if a person is on hospice, Medicare will cover that. But
Hmm.
Medicare will not cover,
Again.
right. And Medicare will not cover an aide to come in,
Right.
5 or 7 days a week,
Hmm.
however much the person is approved to have the aide to come in.
Hmm.
And so Medicare does not cover that. But Medicaid will cover that portion of it. So that
Hmm.
way that person is able to, stay in the home and, be taken care of. Because I'm gonna be honest, if you are in a rural area, 9 times out of 10, the nursing home is full already.
Right. Right.
And even if you're able to get in a nursing home, it's still gotta get paid.
Correct.
It's not free.
Correct.
So
Not free.
who you think paying
Very,
for that?
very expensive to be there. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, and then you come talk about you want a private room, tack on some more on top of that.
Yeah. Yeah. A
It's
lot.
double,
Yeah.
sometimes triple the price.
Yeah.
And so it doesn't matter if it's a luxury nursing facility or a state facility.
Mm-hmm. It still costs.
It still costs. It's
Yeah.
still got to get paid for some way, type of way.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and even if you live in a metropolitan area, is you still they may there I can't talk. There may be a wait. And
Mm-hmm.
so
Oh,
again,
absolutely.
you have to have the service. What do you do? Just leave the patient there and then be like, "Oh, well, I don't know what you're going to do." No, we have to make sure that the patient is safe. We have to make sure that the family is capable of, taking care of the patient in the home and making
Right.
sure that the patient and the family members are safe. And so
Mm-hmm.
like it goes back again, equipment, they might need a Hoyer lift, they might be bedbound.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever the case may be, Medicaid helps make up the difference.
Right. Mm-hmm. It helps them helps us keep people in the community and keep them in their homes. A lot of these people that benefit from these things would literally have to go to a facility to have their needs met. But because of the things that Medicaid can provide, they're able to stay in the home and able to be safe in the home and able to have their family members help out in the home. So it could look interesting depending on what happens.
Yes. And like and Jessica Renee, like when we were trained for LT, to be a part of LTSS, what did they tell us?
Hmm.
We prefer them to be in the home
Right.
because
Right.
you know why? It's cheaper
Cheaper. Yep. Much cheaper to
and
stay in.
it's very hard to get someone placed in the nursing home
Yes.
unless you pay them out of pocket.
Hmm.
And
Because that's just
unless
one piece.
un-
Like we were in one piece of people a group of people that we're trying to get placed. There's other places, like even my current place now, like we assist with getting people placed. So that's just, it's so many different pockets of people in different places that are trying to get people into the facilities that really, really need it. And it's still difficult right now. That's not even to say that anything has really changed. So we can only imagine.
what it'll be, what it'll look like.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's my spiel for on grand rounds for this episode.
Yeah.
Everyone, I know there's a lot of misinformation out there, but like I said, our goal here is to also educate you and bring you the correct information. And again, if you got questions, drop your
Yeah.
comments below in the comment section. And we hope you enjoyed this episode.
I enjoyed it. I think it was good.
I think, listen, this was a really good episode. Very fun, very
Yeah.
educational, across the board from beginning to end. So, I know everyone probably like, I don't want to hear that. I see this, I see that information every day. But it's our job to make sure that we are helping keep you safe, keeping you
Yeah.
healthy. And again, I encourage our other nurses, nurse practitioners, the wonderful dynamic every healthcare provider, every healthcare professional, if you have a platform and if you are comfortable with getting on camera and saying what it is,
Hmm.
if you don't have the time to do something all the time, like I said, you are more than welcome to come over here with us on Unscripted with Nurse Besties and talk and say what it is you need to say. But
Yeah.
again, just remember that we all took the same oath to do no harm, and so that's what we should be doing.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, everyone.
All right.
Bye.
Bye. Have a good one.